Hi, I'm Ari.
I'm Nick.
And how high are you?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the 13th episode of PWN. Today we're going to be talking about a movie.
Wait, is it Pone?
Yeah, isn't it called Pone? Yeah, Pone number 8.
Yeah.
Whatever clip just played is how we're going to pronounce it from now on. Now that I think about it, that was our clarification because PWN stands for Paul Westnick. Pone's just the name of the
But
show.
Paul Westnick is the champ.
Pone 13, everyone! As many of you may know, we recently completed and posted on the channel.
I read it.
We recently made our very first feature film, a hot lead. And we're going to talk about that, I guess.
We did, it was all me.
Because we have nothing better to do.
I have a lot of better things to do. Nick doesn't.
It's true.
For all of you who have not seen the movie which we made, A Hot Lead,
Watch it.
This video makes no sense, but
no,
keep watching this video and then watch it.
No.
Or no, don't do that.
What?
First off, you need
and
to
then watch this one again.
Here, we'll just play the whole movie right now, and then when the movie's done, we'll keep talking, alright?
Or we'll summarize it in a quick little animation for you, right off the bat.
Alright, take it away.
So it starts with like a telephone, right? And a bunch of dickheads' names like flashing in front of it. Some shitty music.
It's called the credits.
You may have seen
Yeah, but it is pretty shitty music. I mean, like,
yeah, the
like,
one...
I heard there's like a better like song that goes with it that, you know, even like Ari and Joey really liked that song when you played it for them.
It was made custom for the movie.
Yeah, and like wouldn't have any copyright strikes or we'd be able to monetize it and, you know.
But f*** it. And after that, you realize that everyone in the planet is dying because people are getting shot up on the streets because it's a real hood place. So they decide, do you know what we really need? A drunk detective, an old drunk detective. So they go up to Tom Cluz, and Tom Cluz is like, I don't want to work for you. Okay, I want to work for you now. So he comes in, he finds this douchebag named Devin Carter, and they work together. They go talk to some hot chicks, and then they argue about whether the hot chick is hot enough, right? Tom Cluz and the Asian guy,
Peter Parker.
they go to school, and they go check out some lipstick, and then they jump in a bush, right? While some freak show holds a banana and starts saying really weird things. And then after that, they go to some Irish guy's house and shoot him up. And if I say anything else, there'll be spoilers.
Yeah.
What?
The assumption is that people have watched it,
Hey,
but
go watch it.
I was trying to think if
why
I can
haven't you
somehow...
watched it?
If you haven't seen A Hot Lead, I don't know what you're doing watching this video. Watch it.
One might even say it's good or great.
Wow.
In my opinion.
Wes doesn't really know a lot about the pre-production aspect of it.
It was
so.
most done in class because it was a class project. Spoilers.
Wait, you're in school?
I am in school.
I thought you were 35 and a half.
Yeah. Most people say that.
It was a school project, unsurprisingly, as most of the things are on Ponar. I'd say a good, like, fourth of our videos.
Initially, when we assigned the project, I was trying to convince our group to do coming of age.
We were actually pretty set on making a coming of age not teen, but like some sort of Stand By Me style, like that sort of thing. American Youth, as she called it. And someone in our group said no.
That was you.
Oh! Yes!
You were
I
like,
did something good. My argument was, if it's not good, it's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, like that sounds...
Wow.
That sounds
great
obvious, but,
observation.
a bad American Youth movie is
every
really
American
bad.
Youth.
We wrote the entire idea for it in one day, in one class period. We had originally planned that the main character's name would be Johnny B.O.Y.
Yes.
The idea of Tom Cluz came about because the original title for the film was Blue's Clues.
What?
Yes, this is the true story.
Yeah.
If I go on Google Drive, there is currently a version of this labeled as
Blue's Clues.
Let's start at day one, I guess. Are we gonna talk about the production or the idea or what?
The first.
Okay, well, first of all, there were a lot of titles going into this, like, a fiery case, a lukewarm trail, a very rather warm temperature-wise detective thing.
So then we end up with
a hot lead.
Yeah.
Because it's a play on words. Because
not really.
Yeah,
it's not a play on words. It's double meaning.
Okay,
yeah,
I get it. Because I was thinking that lead also would only have one meaning, but I guess it could have two meanings.
But then also, Nick Hoffman came up to me one day and said, "Hey Nick, when's a hot lead coming out?" So
a real hot piece of lead, dude.
From the very beginning, Ari was always going to be the main character, Mr. Tom Cluz. We had Wes in mind for... I think he was always going to be Devin Carter, right? That makes sense.
Yeah, because you named him Devin Carter. For those of you who don't know, we were working on another project, like 2 years, 3 years, 8th grade.
Around the time that the 5th poem was posted.
Like 2.5 years ago, and it was going out a character named Devin Carter who was a police.
I didn't know this.
He's the main detective character.
I didn't know this.
Can we still use Devin Carter as a name?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have to change it to Kevin Carter?
You know how HAL is just IBM, like with one letter back?
We do that.
We do that with different CDU.
Kadu, Missouri. It's French.
Genius.
Cthulhu.
I'm Cthulhu Carter. Wait, I'm pretty sure Jack Masters already came up with that idea, but like, he never did anything with it, so I think that means we're allowed to use it.
Speaking of Jack Masters, none of these people know him unless they're Jack Masters.
Jack, like,
he was originally going to be the chief. He ended up not being able to do that, so I said, "Who do we go with?" I said as a joke, "Hey, Blake Weiss." I call up Blake Weiss. "Yeah. Do you need me today?" "What? Really?" "Yeah." "Oh. I'll give you the script."
Do you always talk to yourself like this? Like,
he's got like a really like abrasive side and one little conservative side to him as he talks to himself.
you're the angel and the devil.
Nipper flip.
Octuplets.
The same thing. We should make an octuplets trailer. Actually, no.
How?
Wait, I'm confused. When did octuplets become a thing?
And that's quadruple.
Yeah, there's quadruplets, but when did octuplets become a thing?
Octuplets became a thing in the last one.
In the last one? Did one of us screw up and say octuplets, or did we make that a joke?
I think that was the sequel. Is
octuplets? Oh yeah.
No. The joke was at the end of quadruplets. They're all in the delivery room, and the doctor is at the ultrasound, and he turns around and takes off his mask, and he goes, "It's octuplets."
See on the ultrasound,
right?
See on the ultrasound is Adam Sandler face.
They're all facing the other way, and they all go at the same time.
4 of them have 8. That's 32 children.
Oh my god. Oh, they each. Oh
They're
no.
like one of them's like a soccer dad, so he's like, "Oh, how are your octuplets doing?"
Wait, they each have 8 children? I thought you meant they each have 4 children.
No, they each have 8 children. They go to like an octapella, like octapella tournament, except all the acapella groups are 8 Adam Sandlers plus. It's like Pitch Perfect, but it's all Adam Sandler. And then there's like family drama because there's like incest between the Adam Sandlers are like hooking up with the other Adam.
I'm just trying to picture like a Magicals concert, bunch of Adams everywhere. They all like the piano music is going and it's another Adam Sandler playing the piano and they all go like
No, and then this like old man hobbles up in the shadows and you're like, who is he? And then he turns to all the father Adam Sandlers and he's like,
and it's another
Adam Sandler, and he has the remote from Click, and he turns them all off.
No.
He's like, I'm gonna do what I should have done long ago. Takes the remote control and turns them all off, and then like jump to like 1,000 years later. It's like it's post-apocalyptic, like the whole world's a desert.
Wearing, like, leather.
The whole world's a desert, and then some guy digs up an Adam Sandler. And finds the remote.
He accidentally clicks play. And they all just like the Sandler upright. Wait,
32
did you say the world is covered in sand? Sand.
Adam Sandler Fury Road.
Yeah. No, they're like riding each other like into battle.
Right.
So there's the original Adam Sandler, and then there's the two Adam Sandlers.
No, the original had 4 babies, had quadruplets.
Okay.
And then each of those 4 had.
But did he have the quadruplets with another Adam Sandler?
Oh, but that's interesting. Yeah, what did the Adam Sandlers have?
Yeah, I think it's 2 Adam Sandlers too.
Oh, it's an Adam Sandler in drag. Like in the context of the story,
like
it's
Jack
someone
and
else,
Jill.
but like to make it funny, it's Adam Sandler.
Like Jack and
No. Yeah, but like the original Adam Sandler. How would there have been another Adam Sandler if there's only one to begin with? Where did the second one come from?
Kevin James.
No.
No, but they all have the same name. They're all identical twins.
Incest.
Did you say they all have the same name?
Okay, so Adam
I
Sandler.
picture like a huge mansion. Hey Adam, come down for dinner. Yes, Dad.
No.
No. How about this? They're asexual. All the Adam Sandlers can have babies with themselves.
Wait.
So wait, then how does the ultrasound work? Do they still come out from
Yeah,
inside? I thought I was thinking like a cell, where like it just an Adam Sandler starts growing one day. It's like, ooh, I'm pregnant, and then they lift the shirt and it's Adam Sandler's face. He's like, I'm still growing. Like a full-size Adam Sandler pops up.
Oh, that's graphic, dude. That's graphic right there.
Like Alien.
Yeah. Chest burst through.
He's like, ah, shit, man, my stomach. Ah.
With these 2 aliens. Except this alien just Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
The food ain't that bad, baby. No, don't touch it! Don't touch it!
Wait, what were we talking about?
We really have to go back to talking about
Okay.
I want to talk more about the acapella.
Production started out a little. I think there was like almost a month-long gap between filming the bar scene and then I think the next thing we did was The Office, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did the Daytona Beach the same day.
Yeah, well that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Daytona Beach.
No, we did Johnny first.
Yeah, we did Johnny first because that was my first day.
Oh
the
yeah,
house.
yeah. We did Johnny's not the warehouse, the house.
Johnny House first.
Johnny's house. We could probably get something out of that, right? Well, what could we talk about there?
Well, okay, so it's kind of like messed up. The conversation that we have in the car, like our characters are not the same as our characters in the rest of the movie because I didn't know the plot and like we were just kind of getting into the swing of things. So the way we act in that scene is not consistent with the rest of it.
Actually, speaking of the Johnny scene, that's a good segue for. It was Ari's idea to have a Italian opera playing inside during the scene. So I sent Wes what I had so far, and Wes makes the music for this. So he says, there's an opera in this scene. You can't hear it though, can you turn it up? And I'm like, nah, I don't want a copyright strike on it. He's like, I'll make an instrumental of the opera if you want. And I'm like, if you have time, sure, go ahead. He comes to school the next day with sheet music and says, I'm going to record this.
I had written the lyrics in English, translated them to Spanish because I thought I was going to get this Mexican girl to sing it, but she didn't, so then I translated it to French, and then I sing it.
Wes ended up recording the entire thing himself in French, I believe.
In French, yeah.
I went and revised. The only time I've used Spanish outside of class is when I revised his translation.
Yeah, but my translation was pretty good already.
It was pretty good, yeah.
Dude, teach me how to speak Spanish, I already know it.
Because like I put the opera in as literally the last thing I did. Because I think the version that I shared with you that still had some of the color shots, I think that's still. Yeah, I didn't put in the opera at that point. I didn't put in any of the music at that point. So I literally threw on the music and didn't adjust the volume at all. I was just like, hopefully that works.
So we turn in the movie, right?
Nick can put
And
it
then
in
Nick comes up to me, like, as class starts, like, Ari, we have a problem. I was scrubbing through the movie after I exported it, and I think I saw a shot with color in it. I'm like, how do you make a single shot with color. It's like, what? So we watched the movie in class, and like, there's 5 or like 7 shots.
It was 5, I counted.
5 shots of color.
Keep in mind,
random places.
all of them.
And it was all super distracting. Like, how do you even do that?
Absolutely comedic value, I guess.
No, but like you could hear people go, what? There's a couple changes. We filmed the holding cell scene in a stairwell for some reason, which worked.
So, yeah,
it ended up working.
Yeah,
You guys were gonna have the stairwell as the holding cell.
Yeah, you were gonna have that, and then Ari was like, "No, let's not make this a holding cell."
That makes no sense whatsoever.
Why do you just have stairs in a holding cell?
Let's luxury a holding cell.
2 floors.
Let's try to find any way to make that not the case.
So Wes, I made the mistake of giving him the liberty to improvise as many lines as he wanted, and he
doubled production time.
I think the 2 scenes that it went the worst in were the one after the warehouse scene, and then the one as you're walking away from Mira. Anomalies. How many anomalies, right?
A single anomaly. An anomaly.
And I've noticed some anomalies.
Anomalies? What type of anomalies? What type of anomalies?
Anomalies, dickhead.
That's the joke!
But you're the smart one.
I know.
Okay, I got it. Anomaly? How many anomalies?
So one anomaly?
That was really bad.
Anomalies. Now, what's so anomalicious?
Well,
You don't know your line? Is that the problem is?
Or like, just like those humans, and you can see Ari go.
I was so hard not to laugh at that. I don't know why, because it's just the dumbest thing I've ever
I know
heard.
exactly why. Because it's the dumbest thing I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
exactly. You might want to like interject clips as what we're talking about because people aren't gonna understand.
Even if you've seen the movie, you have no idea what we're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
You're not gonna remember that.
there's a scene in the trailer that has these 2 fighting. That's not the only take I have of that.
It was
There are at
improvised.
least 3 takes where they start physically abusing each other.
All because I wanted to do a little push on him. When we
Like
were
he
walking.
goes, yeah, Wes goes, and then Ari goes, and then Wes just goes, bitch.
And we also
the
start
thing that-
fighting in the credits, like
The
just
thing
randomly.
that pissed me off was that was the shot that had the airplane, so I couldn't use it.
That's why I did it then. I was like, oh, this is gonna be the best take. They can't not use this one. Yeah, there's a weird obsession with airplanes.
I love the
I
airplane.
wasn't even here when they filmed it, but I heard about this. The last like action scene, they're just like airplanes in every shot.
No, my thing
Whenever
was,
you hear the airplane's like, everyone hurry, get in the angle.
Tier 1 and drop down to help him.
Looks like the Bruce Willis did save me this time.
it started out as a joke, right? Like I think it started with just the airplanes being thrown in the office, right? There's the shot in the beginning.
I don't know how that thing goes.
No, I can explain this. For once, I have an actual excuse. I used airplane noises to add tension. So whenever there's an airplane noise, something is about to happen. There's an airplane noise when you get shot. There's an airplane noise
When I get shot.
when she jumps
Just
out
in
of the
in the middle of the holding cell, there's just an airplane.
Well, the creepiest things I've ever seen is when we say, hey look, it's an airplane there. He goes, takes his phone, films it, he turns around to me and Jerry's like, I like the planes.
She's got a weird fetish with the man. Like, I like to think of myself as a pretty open-minded girl, but that's some kinky stuff. There's a scene where I spit. I don't know how to spit though. So like I'm terrible. I'm terrible at spitting. So before every take, I would like take a swig of water from the water fountain. I'd have to say a line and then spit
And
out the water.
that's not a problem. That's you messing up a take, right? Like I can forgive that.
Yeah.
The thing that made me mad is I didn't put that in the script. That was you saying, ha, he says spit it out, so I'm gonna spit. And I'm like,
wait, spit it out. Wait
spit it out, you
a minute.
window licker. Right? And then the one take he got it right. I'm used to a certain way of detecting.
Come on, man. Like, come on.
Action.
I'm used to a certain way of detectiving it.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't think you realized what you said.
No, I definitely had not realized.
Ari starts laughing and then you go, wait, that wasn't right.
It was like, because you mumbled them together, I remember you saying, I'm used to a certain wave detectiving. And I'm like, what the?
So wait, you weren't even laughing at detectiving?
I was laughing at detectiving.
Oh.
I was making them together. Like, I'm used to a certain wave detectiving.
Ari's supposed to be the drunk one. Okay? I'm used to certain wave detective.
I'm used to certain wave detectiving. I'm like, what the fuck are you saying?
So, that's all for a hot lead.
And octuplets.
But mostly a hot
Yeah, this
lead.
was supposed to be a hot lead episode. I think you need some more octuplets than it. Join our MailChimp.
Audible.com.
Take our Survey Monkey. Join our go-to meeting call.
Squarespace.
Our Kickstarter. And our Patreon.
Febreze, sponsor us, please. We make free commercials, but only the good ones.
That's all we have time for on this 13th episode of Comic.
Wait, do we have a favorite comment?
Yeah, favorite.
There was a lot of comments and they were all Lucan.
Favorite comment.
Okay.
Lucan, if
This
you're
guy
watching
named Lucan, we don't know.
Social media, we have a page. We've never promoted it.
Yes.
Instagram.
We have
an Instagram. We have a wiki.
That one's right here.
Which one's right where?
This one's.
What is going on? This is chaotic. Just like a hot lead.
Subscribe, like, dislike, anything.
Unsubscribe, please.
Share.
No, hold on, wait.
Add to playlists.
You can dislike, just don't unsubscribe.
Please.
Add to watch later.
Please add to the playlist that's called Random Things on YouTube.
Yes. If you're Chibisu King, please
Come back.
come back. We need
We
you.
miss you.
God bless America.
4th of July, baby.
Don't forget to watch Octuplets.
End card. Bye, Pone.